Hi everyone, and welcome to another video in this van build series. In this video I'll go through the battery system. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, please give it a thumbs up if you like my videos. And please add a comment, I'd love to hear your thoughts. For the battery system, I wasn't confident in doing the wiring, so I got it professionally installed by Battery World. Electrically I was confident, but when it comes to the size of the cables and crimping them, and working out what to do with the grounding, I was a bit out of my depth in that I wasn't completely sure I would do it right. And being such an expensive component of the overall build, I didn't want to take any chances. So the plan was that I'd have the slimline battery, the combi inverter charger, and the DC to DC charger. I also wanted to work with the Cymarine Pico Plus monitor. I wanted isolation / breakers rather than inline fuses. However, what I wanted wasn't what I got. That battery system, I didn't end up getting what I wanted. So I wanted, as in the previous videos you saw, that I wanted the slimline, the slimline lithium battery. But when I went to go get it, because I had designed this cabinet all for that, they told me that they couldn't install that one because they weren't licensed to. This is from Battery World. So I had to go with the BTEC, which is still good, but it just changed my layout a bit. So as you can see, I lost my toilet drawer, but ended up turning that into a shoe drawer. So while it's not ideal, it's still okay. And then I ended up with this big space over here, and I just put a little storage area we can throw our dirty clothes in. But anyway, here's our 200 amp hour lithium battery, and behind that is the 2000 watt inverter, or 2600 watt inverter I should say. Powers the induction cooktop, hence why it's got these massive cables. Draws 200 amps when it's running. Over here, behind this behind here, I got the DC to DC charger, and because I couldn't get the combi inverter, I had to go and install a secondary 240 volt to DC charger, because the combi has that built in. So what did I end up with? I still got the 200 amp hour battery, but not the slimline. I still got the DC to DC 40 amp charger. I ended up with a bigger inverter, but had to have a separate AC charger. All of these compromises meant I lost some space, which meant I also lost the toilet drawer. I didn't get the CBs, but instead they installed inline fuses. Now I haven't had any issues with the blown fuse, but the original intent of having the CBs was so that if I did trip something, it was simple enough to reset it. Now if I trip something, I need to pull out the blown fuse and replace it. And I gotta make sure I keep spares. Like I said, I haven't had to yet, so I'm not expecting this to be something that's going to plague me in the future. But having that option would be nice. Another reason for having the CBs is so that I can isolate pieces of equipment. Like if I want to work on the battery, or even isolate the DC to DC charger from the alternator so I can charge only on solar. This DC to DC charger only allows one charge source at a time, and it will pick the strongest source. Meaning if my battery charge is only slightly lower from overnight usage, it will charge up from the alternator when driving, leaving it fully charged when I park the next day under the sun for the whole day, getting nothing. Seems a waste. This happened a lot when I was driving my van to work. It would charge up on the way, and then I would leave it in the sun all day. In this case, it would be better to leave the alternator isolator and charge up from the sun when parked. It would be even better if the DC to DC charger accepted both inputs together. Then I could get a third extra capacity when driving. I'm thinking of getting a dedicated MPP solar controller just for the solar, then I can do this. I also have a portable 100 watt panel that I used to use when I went tent camping. I could use a second source on the DC to DC for this whilst parked to increase my solar capacity. Still thinking about it, I don't know yet, as I think the DC to DC is also triple charging my starter battery too, which is nice to have when I don't take the van out between trips. Right now my van's not garaged, so it sits in the sun all day. Next house we are planning to have a big shed where I can keep it out of the weather. In that case, I will need to keep it plugged into the mains, which will run off external solar anyway. This should also keep the starter battery on trickle charge when not in use. On our first trip away, we had an issue where we were parked for several days and our battery wasn't recharging, or not as much as I thought it should. I ran the engine for half an hour and it still didn't recharge. I thought our system had broken and had no idea what to do. Then Ivy asked this great question, is there another way to check if it's working? Turns out, and I think most manufacturers have this feature, there's a QR code on the battery that allows you to download a battery monitoring app. The Enerdrive BTEC battery has Bluetooth connectivity. Once I downloaded and installed the app on my phone, I could see that the state of charge was actually 96% and not the 56% as shown on my Cymarine Pico battery monitor. Since then, we have found that whilst the Cymarine battery monitor was accurate when discharging, it was not so accurate when recharging. It needs to hit 100% before it brings the state of charge back up, which is pretty annoying. And it's not just my setup. My cousin has a Red Arc system and it does the same. I don't know why the Cymarine is not picking up the state of charge. It seems to work on solar, but when the engine is running, it doesn't register it until it reaches 100%. If anyone has any ideas, please leave a comment below. To keep airflow in the battery box, I put 2 computer fans in here. There's little 12-volt ones. They run continuously, just run straight to the battery. They're always on. And in front of the drawers here, I've got a little vent, so it just maintains the airflow. Because when the inverter is running, it does put off a bit of heat. Even the AC chargers puts out a bit of heat when it's charging as well. So keeping the battery cool is very important. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Any questions, leave in the comments section, I'll get back to you. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. You should also check out our previous videos. In the next video, I will go through the plumbing of the sink. Bye for now.